Hey guys, we are back with some more Valkyrie 2 Silmeria. As you can see, I'm poisoned, so I'm going to need to heal that with some dead ashes. Normally I wouldn't need to, but given the fact that, as you can see, like, I don't really have much good equipment. I mean, yeah, sure, I have, like, the black crystal, but I'm not going to use it. And I don't really have the equipment to actually put to good use. Now, you're probably wondering, hang on a minute, why does the equipment setup look weird? Well, that's because on my previous playthrough, when I walked into a cutscene, the game froze because on PCSX2, which I'm playing on the PAL version, it isn't 100% right yet. So the American version is fine, it's just this version. Now, on top of this, Alicia also does not have heat up on. I don't really care about giving her heat up, but as you can see, you can give her heat up pretty easily by just doing that. I'm not going to though, because I'm not going to be using Alicia for this run. I will probably, like, I don't really need to have Alicia out for this. And heat up, other than Alicia, there's no point in giving anyone heat up right now. So, we've just basically escaped the pan, and now we need to just heal everybody up. But I'm going to just keep that item there, and we're just going to leave this area first. And we're going to go straight to Solday, because we're in a bit of a bad shape. Now, when I fought the boss before, on my previous run, like, it wasn't very good, I'm going to be honest. And, like, I got my ass whooped by the boss a little bit, so as you can see, I'm not in good shape. But what I have done is cutscene.
I believe we are safe now. Shall we adjourn here until the morrow?
What makes you think we're safe?
I cast a force field around the forest. Even were Walther to follow us by teleportation, he would be unable to reach us here.
In that case, we should rest.
I wouldn't mind resting.
Look at those epic bangs on Dylan, man.
You surprised me. I thought Silmeria was still with us.
She only comes out when we need her for object reading. Usually it's just me. I'm sorry. I wish I could be of more help.
I beg your forgiveness. I never intended to insinuate such a thing. As one versed in the arcane, I am merely intrigued by two spirits sharing one body.
Sweet talk all you want. Silmeria can see right through it.
So can object reading be used to read another's mind?
Well, seems like it should be possible.
Interesting. Shall we give it a try?
It would be an honor, Lady Silmeria.
If you have thoughts or feelings that are inseparably bound to another life, or memories of someone who affected you deeply, then I can read those thoughts.
Is that so? Allow me to abstain. I would rather not know about my other lives.
If you know, you know.
A gentleman would oblige.
That's what I'm going to say.
I'd like to believe that in all my other lives, I have been a defender of Japan.
If you mess around with your powers, won't that other Valkyrie detect us?
You've got a point.
You two must also be fatigued from your journey. A brief respite is in order. I shall wake you before the sun is high. Naturally, I shall keep watch as you rest.
I love that. Like, Rufus is going straight to sleep. I mean, Dylan, well, watch what Dylan does. He just sleeps with a sword on his back, like, he doesn't give a shit. Like, could you imagine the back pain you'd go through if you slept on with a sword in your back 24/7? It'd be insane. Like, at least remove the sword from your back before you actually sleep, dude. Seriously. But yeah, we unlocked the Cathena Plains, but before we go there, we're going to go to Solde because we need to heal up. So yeah, as I say, like, I got a bit beat up here, and yeah, the game crashed, but what I did do is I managed to get some other footage that I did, which was a bit naff. And unfortunately, the audio was a bit shit. Now, I've rebalanced the audio a bit, because I'm recording this through OBS, so when I'm recording through OBS, the audio is a bit messed up. It's going to be messed up one way or another, there's not really much I can do about that, but I'm making the best out of what I've got, guys, so just understand that. But yeah, I am aware that the audio is not brilliant. As you can see, we are going around here, so we can get some items now. You could get items later, but I feel that it's probably a good idea to get items as soon as possible. I mean, you can get like a red earth rune and healing rune here if you really want to. I don't see the point right now, but you can do that. But yeah, I just want to get some union plumes because this is where we're going to start needing some revival items and stuff. And yeah. So we're all ready and prepared to carry on with the game and head on to the Cathena Plains. And like I say, I'm going to be using a little bit of a different pie temporarily. So usually I wouldn't do this, but for the sake of this, I'm going to bring Alicia and Michelle in the pie. The reason why I want to do this, even though I should probably be using Dylan, is simply because I want to use the Soul Crush for both of them, and both of them can do it. I might as well just give her a heat up, I guess, just simply because why not? If she learns it, she learns it. If she doesn't learn it, she doesn't learn it. It doesn't really matter. But we're going to head off to the Cathena Plains and get this shit going. So here we are at the Cathena Plains. This is one of my favourite areas in the game. You'll probably know that if you watched my ranking tier list of all the dungeons that I did of this game. As I love the music, and this song kind of brings back memories to my childhood, because like, where I used to live was kind of a coastal area, and you can see the sea over there. And I remember back in the day, you know, I used to go on, like, oh shit. But yeah, I used to do a lot of walks on, like, cliff tops with my dad. And, yeah, like, it kind of reminds me of those days. So I have a bit of nostalgia just for this area, just simply because it reminds me of those times, you know? But, yeah. As I say, the music in this area as well, which we're going to get to later on, but first we're going to showcase Whirling Ripper, which is Mikkel's Soul Crush, and yeah, it's a pretty good one, as you can see there, and that's basically the typical Light Warrior Soul Crush. But yeah, like that, as I say, the battle arena is pretty straightforward, especially compared to the previous one. Hopefully we can get enough to get 2 lots, so that we can do Nebel and Balesti, and then we can follow it up with a Whirling Ripper. Now, I'm not going to guarantee that I'm going to do this unscathed though, so, you know, bear that in mind. But the idea is that eventually you'll be able to finish them off with this, but unfortunately you can't. And as you can see, like, I feel like Whirling Ripper is a little better than Nebel and Balesti. Like, and that's one of the reasons why I kind of wanted to have... I mean, granted, the attack damage for that move is a lot higher right now, so yeah, that's something to bear in mind as well. But, yeah, I might just be able to finish the job if I could just take a baby step there, and there we go. So, yeah, not really the best fight there, but whatever. But, like I say, the Cathena Plains, like, the music in this area is just really chill and, like, really has that feeling of going on a journey, but it feels more like you're going on, like, it feels like you're going on a more of a, like, a more, it feels more like you're going on a trip down, like, it feels like, what's the best way to describe it? It feels more like you're going on a, not really a journey, but it feels like you're going on a, like, just a trip out, you know? Like, just a trip out through the countryside. So it's a bit more light-hearted than, like, the Lost Forest, for example, which I kind of like. And yeah, this is one of those songs that can just work for anything, you know? Like, it's one of those things, and you'll find that's kind of the case with this game in a lot of ways. There's a lot of songs in this game that could just work for anything. And yeah, this is where having 2 Soul Crushes will make all the difference. I didn't really showcase it before because I kind of messed up, but this time I should be able to take this guy out with both of these characters. Should be able to, yeah, there you go. So yeah, that's the advantage of getting the Hilda's sword early. You can actually use 2 Soul Crushes instead of just 1 at this point, which does make a difference early on if you're going to do that. And well, Lazar is also going to gain some experience while we're at it. But yeah, I just wanted to show that off. There's not really much else to do here other than like gather materials, but we're not going to do that right now. Instead, we're going to head off to the next area, which is Coriander. And yeah, this area around here is a rural village, and you might actually find it to be quite familiar if you played the first game.
The orb was taken to a place just outside Coriander for protection. At least, according to the last remaining records of Japan.
So, why this little backwater town?
I imagine it was somewhat more prosperous back then.
When would that be?
The chronicles date back over 500 years.
Someone must have taken good care of them.
Japan was founded by a sect that broke away from the tribe of Orb Guardians.
You know your lore.
Common knowledge for a loyal subject.
I didn't know that. Some princess I am.
History fades over time.
Well, shall we go?
But anyways, here we are in Coriander, and the music in this area it's very warm. Like, that's one of the things I find about the music in the towns in this game for the most part. It's very warm and like really soothing music, and this area definitely has that, which kind of reminds you that you're in a town. But yeah, this guy talks about falchions, and basically this is kind of like a tutorial for like the weapon crafting, but you don't really want to get falchions because they don't have a special attack, and it's just not worth getting in my opinion. You can if you want, but I don't see the point. You can get a better weapon later on anyways. What we do want to do, however, is, I mean, you could get a striking sword, but we don't have the money right now, so we have to sell some stuff. The back wing you can sell, but probably gonna sell some iron ore. We don't need all that iron ore, we really don't. And I'm not sure if we want to sell any of this. We can sell 1 black crystal as well, because we don't need that many. And we're going to get the striking sword for Crad here. It doesn't have a special attack, but the damage is pretty high. As you can see, that's a big damage increase. Now, we don't really need to have too many attacks on Crad anyways, so it's not really a huge deal. For the rest of it, we're just going to buy some Union Plumes and fill the rest of our inventory up with Warriors Arcaniums. So we're going to get a couple of them, and yeah, that should do us for now. And now he's going to lecture you about falchions again. If you fight those armoured guys with the lances, you can get the pieces, but I just don't really care enough. Anyways, talk to this guy and you'll get some free accessories. And this is going to be handy. This is basically like the tutorial for like gaining skills in the game. It's a bit late, really. Should have gotten the Blue Soul Flame earlier and learned Fists of Iron early. But yeah, I'm going to throw Dylan and Rufus back in anyways. Now, as you can see, I already have the Patchin and the Blue Soul Flame on Dylan and the Antique Pendant, so he's learning a lot. But we just got the Insect Stinger, so we can actually learn some more skills, including Beast Bludgeon and I think that was Unholy Purifier? Well, hang on a minute. Let's find out. I think it is. Yeah, Unholy Purifier. Those will come in handy. Oh, they will. Those skills are really useful. If you can get critical skills and use them on the right enemy, it has a huge impact on fights. Like, the damage multiplier is insane. So, yeah. Getting those is handy. Now, eventually this will become more important later, but for the time being I'm just doing it on Dylan because, well, we're not going to be using Crowd for too long. As I'm not going to be doing, like... Well, actually, I don't know. I might actually keep Crowd around, but I'm not going to be using him for, like, too long anyways. So I'm not going to invest too much into him, but there's no real point in learning him the skills right now. I'll have to see what I do when the time comes, but, yeah. As I say right now, I'm pretty kind of like happy with how things are. But I could see what Rufus can get. I mean, he doesn't have any skills by the looks of it. So, yeah, we could definitely give him Fist of Iron. Oh, he's already learning it, right. But he isn't learning that, is he? And then we've got the Sightstone. So... Oh yeah, he's already got the Skull Raptors. Yeah. See if we can find anything else I can learn. I don't think we can learn anything for him right now. Let's see if we can find anything we can learn from here. I don't think so. It's mainly because... It's because he's got a red weapon. That's the problem. But it doesn't really matter. I mean... Like, you've got the Skull Receptacle on him. Yes, you can learn Fist of Iron on the Zab, but it's probably not recommended. Instead, you want to get the Ice one for the Magic one, but ultimately it doesn't matter much anyway, so yeah. But we should be okay with the equipment for everybody right now. But we've just given Dylan some skills, just to show what you can do. But honestly, learning skills this early, especially if you've got Crowd, like, I mean, it can be handy to learn them on Dylan, but that's only if you're gonna go for the... Oh shit, really? I've not got money? Fuck. But that's only if you're going for the Perfect Release, because that's when Dylan really shines, when you're going Perfect Release Dylan. But other than that, like, I mean, I'm just getting it for the sake of getting it, just to kind of show you. But if you're going for Perfect Release, then yes, you definitely want to give Dylan that, because it's going to benefit him big time. Probably should sell a couple of these. There we go. And yeah, he's going to just talk about this again. Ah, God, talking to this guy's a pain. We get it. You're selling these freaking falchions. I mean, I guess I could buy some sweet boots, but I'd rather just buy some healing items anyways. Like, I'm just going to be honest, people. At this point in the game... I can't buy dwarf tinctures, shit. At this point in the game, like, buying armor isn't really worth it, in my opinion. Because, like, regardless of what you do, you're gonna get hurt a lot in this game at this point. Regardless of whether you have all the armor or anything, so it's better to just get items so that you can just heal up and get through it. But later on you'll want to invest more in armor eventually, but just not right now. Anyways, we want to talk to this guy, and yeah, he will unlock the next dungeon. Either that or... I don't know if it's him or this person over here. One of them unlocks the next dungeon. Yeah, this girl unlocks the next dungeon. So, yeah. I'll talk to her, and then you can... Well, you can go through the houses if you want, but I don't see the point. And we'll leave Coriander, and we're going to go to the dungeon. I know that I haven't healed, guys. I get that. I just couldn't be bothered, to be perfectly honest. I should be alright. I didn't take too much of a bump from the previous fight. But we've got another cutscene. There's no shortage of those at the beginning of this game. But they'll fizzle out eventually.
So, where's the orb?
It might not be here.
Are you serious?
The tribe that guarded it often moved the orb from place to place for its protection. But the last of the Guardians have died out.
Fine. What exactly are we doing here then?
Silmeria?
I'll give it a try.
More object reading again?
We may find the orb by picking up a trail of psychic energy.
Just one problem. I don't see any objects to read.
If they placed the orb here for safekeeping, they would have needed a strong dais to hold it. Go find it.
Yes, ma'am.
What's the matter? You mustn't speak to me now.
What is it?
Oh, it's, nothing. I'll call you when we find the dais.
Right, here we are at the Serdberg Mountain Ruins. So, this is a little bit tougher than the other dungeons. I'm going to do a bit of a fight here, just simply because, well, kind of need to gain some skills, don't I? And yeah, I've got some setups, so I might as well just kind of like gain some skill experience, which you can gain from doing some fights. So yeah, you definitely want to do that. And I don't really have any, I don't really have much right now with whatchamacallit, so yeah, it's not exactly going to be easy to do, especially when I miss so much of the attacks. Which isn't exactly ideal, but yeah, this hasn't really gone brilliantly, has it? Right, hang on a minute. Let's see if I can actually deal a bit more damage. Yeah, that's not really good, is it? We're going to have to get hit. Right, so, who's going to take the hit? Dylan's going to take the hit because he's a big man. Unfortunately, Lazard took a hit, and another hit. Damn. Fucking Lazard's already getting bucked. Right. That was not the plan, Lazard. The plan was for Dylan to take the hit. He's the big man. He's the tank. The guy is built like a fucking tank at least. Right. Then we can just screw this guy over. And we should be okay. We don't have any special attacks for these guys, unfortunately, so we just have to make the most out of what we've got. Which is, yeah. Look, they've got, this guy's going to use sap power on us. Hopefully that will make a big deal, I mean, big difference in things. And, yeah. We just need to, stay back a bit here. There's an animal bear there, so you gotta watch out. I mean, this battle area is not the easiest to deal with, I will have to admit. But I think the best thing to do right now is probably to just send Crowd on his own. See, this is why Dylan needs to be the one in the front, because his arms can just, like... His arms are a literal fucking meat shield. Right, I'm just going to send Crowd on his own, just simply because that's going to speed things up. Because he has Sweet Dive, and Sweet Dive is a very useful ability. And unfortunately, it's not really doing what I want it to do right now, because this freaking weapon that he's got is blocking the way. So I'm just gonna have to fucking hope and pray that his armor doesn't block the way. And if it does, well, we're just gonna run. There's just no point if this is what it's gonna be. Yeah, like sometimes enemies will block forever, and you're just like, well, just sayonara, I can't be bothered. Oh, for God's sake, really? I'm just gonna waste my time like this. I've already wasted the freaking Union Plume. Come on. This game really does not want to play ball right now. It just wants to be really annoying. So, can we just retreat? I've never seen it be so difficult to retreat from a fight in this game. Again, this game really does not want me to fucking... This would only happen when I'm recording. Only when I'm recording would this ever happen. I swear to God. Fucking so many times where I could not escape from battle. How many times does that have to be? But we're gonna go back and heal anyways, because yeah, that was disaster. Like, I was hoping I could actually get the hit, but I couldn't get the right angle on him because of the freaking enemies in that area. It's not an easy battle arena as that. So, what I wanted to do originally was to actually kill one of these and get them out of the way. That was kind of the original agenda, but because they were like blocking the way with their weapon, it was very hard to do that. But yeah. And yeah, of course, why is Lazard tanking all the attacks? Like, come on. Dude. You're a freaking mage, stop being the tank. Right. Now, this is where things get tricky. So say this is not the easiest room to fight in at this point in the game. It really isn't. It would probably be a lot easier, to be fair, if I just stuck to using crowd. It probably just would be easier. And that's exactly what I'm going to do, because it just is easier if I just use crowd. Unfortunately, once again, the weapon. Like, the weapon guarding with these specific enemies is really annoying. Like, once again, look, I hit like 100 and odd with that one attack. But because he guarded, it didn't do anything. So I had to hit him at a specific angle here, or break it off, which I finally did, and I got a silver Celes from it, which is nice. And yeah, I need to equip the other weapon. That's what I need to do. Because I forgot to equip it. That did not help things. But yeah, to walk around and take full advantage of Crowd's OP move. And yeah, I'm just gonna do things the cheap way for the time being. I mean, it's working with breaking body parts from him, but it's not really the most effective maneuver, I will admit that. But a lot of that is due to the fact that I haven't set him up right. And that's one of the reasons why I bought that sword originally, so yeah. But yeah, we've killed him now, and I'm really getting properly set up. There's a lot of things that you can forget in this game. A lot of this game is literally messing around in the menu. Like, you will spend so much time in the menus in this game, just messing things around, but I guess I'm so used to, like, weapons just being auto-equipped. But yeah, look at the difference in damage. It's no-brainer. Like, especially for Crowd. But yeah, that's not really the best start right there. I guess I'm just going to do some fights, but yeah, we managed to get him there. I think we completely dismembered him there. Sometimes that can happen. Like, sometimes you can just instantly just kill them. We got some more skills, so we're going to get some of these skills equipped. And yeah, I think you learn first aid, buddy, so... yeah, that gives you 3, but we don't want to equip that right now. But we do want to make sure Dylan has equipped like some of the stuff, but the antique pendant isn't really necessary anymore, so we're going to instead give him something else, but I don't think anything else that we have is going to be of use. So I'm going to just like give him the sharp spearhead because it increases the chance of the crit. First aid is always handy. There we go. And yeah, we're gonna get into another fight. Hopefully this time it goes a bit more smoothly than the last few fights. I mean, early on you can find dwarf tinctures, but at this point you can get some like armor from these guys, so it's better to get the items here. But yeah, Rufus family has Fists of Iron, which is going to come in handy, so we're going to equip that right now. And I think that it's just Dylan now that has to learn the skills. Actually, no, I do have to learn first aid on Rufus, don't I? So yeah, there's that to deal with, and yeah, there's not really anything that he can learn, so yeah. But yeah, as I say, you can go down there, but there's also room in here if you want to do it, but there's not really much to do unless you want to get some treasure, which I'm not bothered about. But yeah, we're just going to go here, I guess, and we're going to watch a little cutscene in this room over here.
It's here! The orb! Amazing. Look at that glow. Hey! Isn't anybody else excited about this?
I am.
That is not the dragon orb. It is a seal stone formed by a geological anomaly.
And what's that?
A mass of energy. It is a substance without matter, normally impalpable and invisible to human senses.
It resonates with my spiritual energy, causing it to radiate visible light. Photons convert energy absorbed from the roots of the world tree Yggdrasil to light. Seal stones are residue formed from the hardened sap that drips from Yggdrasil's roots.
You mean like amber from Yggdrasil?
Call it amber if you will. A seal stone exerts power over the area it is placed. It suppresses the actions of enemies bound to this location and the surrounding areas.
Then, how about if we take it with us for protection?
Seal stones don't just affect enemies. The bearer may also be subject to some change. If you were to carry it, Sir Rufus, then the effects would be felt by all of us.
What kind of effects?
I'm afraid that's just it. One cannot know until one tries.
The tribe that guarded the dragon orb had to be very familiar with these seal stones.
So, they used that knowledge in building palaces to keep the dragon orb safe. Sounds like it wouldn't hurt to take it with us.
Seal stones constantly require a base. During the process of transferring from a dais to another dais, the carrier acts as a base. Seal stones cannot be disposed of, nor can they be held on to forever. At some point, their world-sustaining power will crush the holder.
All right, so I can't handle it. You could have said that from the beginning, you know. Okay, what now? It's your call. Real funny. Thanks a lot, Silmeria.
Yeah, Silmeria isn't very helpful. That's all I'm gonna say. Like, she's not very subtle and she's not very helpful, but she thinks she's been helpful. But when the vital information comes into play, she just disappears. Like, not like she just completely like pretends that you didn't hear her. But yeah, seal stones are an important part of the game because they can make the game a lot easier or a lot harder depending on like what you're holding and what's in a dais. Now, it makes it sound a little bit more terrifying than it actually is, does the cutscene, but really the whole idea of seal stones, I mean with this one you want to keep it in because it decreases detectability. By holding onto it, it doesn't really accomplish much because it won't affect you at all. But it does affect the enemies because, as you can see, they can't see us. That means they're not going to go towards attacking us. Whereas some seal stones will affect you if you pick them up, but they'll also affect the enemies if they're in a dais. So sometimes you want to take them out of a dais to affect you so that you can, like, become stronger, eliminate the problem before it becomes a big problem. And that's kind of what you want to do with Seal Stones. But yes, we finally got all the skills we need. Good. Now, Beast Bludgeon is actually really useful here. So we're going to remove both of these, and we're going to get some Beast Bludgeon action going on. This is going to be more useful than having Fists of Iron on, because it's as you can see, massive effects against bleached enemies. Yeah, that's a huge damage increase that it's going to do there. So yeah, we're just definitely going to have that on for now, because a lot of the enemies in this dungeon are beasts. So yeah, we're going to fab this guy just to see if we can get the... I don't know if these giant hawks count, but they do have these tail feathers that you can get from their back. I think it's like... I don't know if it's a rare drop or anything, but I know it's a drop that you can get from them. And unfortunately the ghosts are like the main enemy here, and that's not going to be fun, because those types of enemies are a pain in the neck to deal with, unfortunately. But yeah, we completely immobilized the giant hawk. Yeah, sometimes when you destroy enough of an enemy body parts, you'll completely immobilize them, and it just makes things... There we go, we've got Raptor's Talon, which is something nice. And yeah, now here's the question. Because I'm trying to clear this the safe way, I'm not bothered about getting a direct assault right now. I just want to kind of like get over here, see if I can actually finish him. Yes, got the finish. Unfortunately though, yeah, sometimes when you attack or use an item, it resets the enemy's like hit area, which is something to be mindful of. But yeah, we can finish this guy off now. Might as well. There we go. Don't know if the ghost is going to take any damage here. No, it's not. So this is a job for Lazard. This is why you have to have mages in this game at this point, as while they aren't really useful for the majority of the game, they do have their uses, particularly when it comes to like casting spells, because these enemies, while they are like immune to like physical damage, they aren't immune to elemental damage, so you can take advantage of mages for that. But you can also use elemental damage dealers or elemental attacks or weapons that have elemental properties to deal damage to them. So mages aren't essential later on in the game, because you have better ways of dealing with these issues. But anyways, this is where the complications happen. Now, before we begin here, first of all, I'm just going to open up the wall, which you do just by slashing it. But, well, you actually slash it twice. But before we do this, because this is one of those moments where we are going to get another Einherjar, and you know what that means, people. That means that we are going to be save scumming a lot to get this Einherjar in the party. But first we need to do this little puzzle here. You just basically move this item. It's pretty self-explanatory. You just move this item here and then down to the bottom, and you can just like plug it in this little slot here, which if it's not in, you can like kind of like move around a little bit or just jump over and push it so that it's in the right place. And eventually it will be there. And when you do this, it means that you can now use this little stairway, and we're going to want to do that because at the top of the stairway is a save point, and we're going to want to save the game, because what we're going to want to do next is going to require us to save the game. Now, we're going to save the game, move this away, and we're going to kind of deactivate the puzzle. And what this will do is it will move these blocks back down. As you can see there. And now that we've moved those blocks back down, we are going to go in here. I'm going to ignore these treasure chests, and we're going to check this saw. Now, I think there's two potential light warriors you can get from here. Let's see which one we get first. And we got Tyrith. this isn't the Einherjar I wanted, but we're going to have a look at Tyrif's biography anyways. So, we're going to have a look at Tyrif here. Let's have a look at Tyrif's background. Raised in Lassen, a town on the southwest of the continent. Now, if you play Valk Profile 1, you'll know that Lassen... Like, I think Lassen is the place where the guy... what's his name again? It's the place where they were trading slaves in Valk Profile 1. And, yeah, that... Like, one of the former slave girls, Aska, was there. And there was the other guy who's an Einherjar. I've forgotten his name, though. I think it begins with B, but... I've forgotten his name. But, yeah, like... That's basically the town that he's from in Valk Profile 1. And, yeah, basically Tyrif is from the same place. And she claimed to be the descendant of Celes, who, like, is basically Celes is the other Einherjar option you can get in this. She's siding with Artdane, which means that she is kind of along the same side as Roland and Raquel. And yeah, like that's basically in sort of this area where we are now, but it's a little bit further to the west of where we are right now in the Serdberg Mountain Ruins. And yeah, it's northwest of Vilnor. So she became famous as strong, if not stronger than Celes, giving her soldiers courage to fight even at their most exhausted. So yeah, she's basically a commander. In 658 CC, during the Battle of the Lake Temple, the Vilnor army's strategic plans sank the temple, killing Tyrif in the process. Remember that for later, people, because that's going to come into play very soon. Although she claimed she was related to General Celes, she was actually a mere merchant's daughter. I suppose sometimes you have to make bold claims to get places. Anyways, what does she come with? Let's have a look what Tyrif actually comes with. She comes with a rapier, which, yeah, it's not brilliant, doesn't have a special attack. She has a cuirass, which is something. Better than leather mail, I guess. And, yeah, she has metal greaves as well. But we don't want Tyrif in the party, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to reload my save. There we go, we got Celes, finally. It's about damn time. Now, I don't know about you guys, like, obviously this is debatable, because, like, it all comes down to opinion, but I personally consider Celes to be the best light warrior in the game. Raquel is basically obsolete now. We don't need to use Raquel ever again, and we pretty much will never be using her ever again, so we are going to be unequipping the Hilda Sword from Raquel right now, and we are going to be equipping Celes with the Hilda Sword. I know the Falchion is a little bit stronger with the attacks, but we're just going to have the one attack and the special attack right now for 51 attack, which, as you can see, that's the same attack damage as Krad, which is insane. According to that, like, so, I mean, it's not going to be, like, because he has sweep dive, so it's going to make a big difference, but yeah, she comes with a silver sallet on top of a metal buckler on top of the metal beam, so she comes with better weapons than Tyrif does. And, yeah, I should probably equip the silver sallet onto Krad right now, but what I want to do is get the blue soul flame immediately and start equipping some accessories on her. Raptor's Talon is an activation rune. That's going to be really handy as well. The complicated thing is, though, because she has a red sword, it's going to be problematic to learn certain skills, but it's not the end of the world. I think that we need to have a look, though, to see if we can actually... Oh, hang on a minute. Let's see, what has Dylan got? Yeah, let's get rid of the pack chain from Dylan, because we don't need any of this now. And we'll get rid of that. And yeah. As I say, I don't really feel that we can actually do much with this right now, but I'll just equip these for the temporarily, just for the sake of it, because that's going to be what we're going to be focusing on next. So, now that we've got our character, we want to do this. Now, even though we just got Celes, and I do want to use Celes, don't get me wrong, and as I say, like, I do want to kind of do a little bit of training for Celes for a little bit, just simply so that she can learn to survive, because that'll make things a little easier. But yes, we're just going to do a little bit of fighting here. And yeah, we've got these enemies again, unfortunately. But yes, this is going to... Oh, we got break mode, boys. I don't know who started that, but... like, I can't really hear the audio right now, people, just in case you're wondering, but sometimes if Lazard gets break mode, you get something really epic. And I don't know if Lazard got break mode there, but if he did, then... like, brace yourselves for epicness. But yeah. Just hit this guy with a few firestorms and we should get a direct assault. There we go, boys. And we got an earth gem for all the trouble. So yeah, as I say, Celes is a really useful really useful light warrior. A lot better than Raquel, and she has some different attacks early on, including Miss Phantom. This attack is really useful, and it's probably one of my favourite attacks in the game. And you'll see why when you see it. But that's one of the reasons why I like using Celes, just simply because Miss Phantom is a really nice move to use. Like, it's debatable whether or not she is the best light warrior in the game, but she's definitely the best light warrior and Herriar in the game. By far. Oh boy, that's a wide attack area, is that, boys? I think we're going to have to move over here. Right, there we go. And as you can see, you have that move. Yeah, it's pretty cool. And she can, like, hit enemies. She can, like, go behind the enemy with Dylan. Yeah! Murdered the bitch.
You can sleep quietly now.
I know this hasn't really been much of a video right now because, well, this area, like, I think getting Celes was a bit of a pain in the neck in itself. But yeah, I'm gonna probably save the rest of the Serdberg Mountain Ruins for next time, just simply because I needed to do a lot of fighting just simply so that I could gain some skills, and I still need to do a bit of fighting. But I'm not really doing very well at doing that, so I just kind of need to save the game and call it a video. Yeah, and that's the video for today, guys. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you all next time.